Oh boy! The Ice Age films. Ice Age as a movie franchise sucks. Even if these movies are nostalgic, a lot of them still suck. Another thing, Ice Age won't die. There are 5 movies, 2 holiday specials, and now we're getting a spin-off movie about Buck coming to Disney Plus. And we'll probably get a 6th film in the future, if you don't count the Buck spin-off as the 6th film. And aside from one exception, each sequel gets worse and worse. So let's start the ranking. Ice Age Collision Course. This movie sucks. This is the point where Blue Skies officially went out of ideas for the series and was scraping the bottom of the bucket. Nothing is good about this film. The animation is ruined by the fact that this is an Ice Age sequel. All this great animation is wasted. Electric Dragon 505 points out the problems with the animation in his review of the movie, so go check that out. Plus, it's a great review. Everyone is a comic relief character, but no one is funny. Not even Scrat. This is the only Ice Age film where I didn't get a laugh from Scrat. Buck returns in this film, which you think would be a good thing. Buck was great in the 3rd film. He was actually funny. But here, he's one of the worst characters and has some of the worst jokes. Speaking of characters, there's too many at this point. That's a problem with this series. They never take out characters. They just keep adding more and more characters until there's too many. There's other problems with this film, but if I talked about them, this video would be pretty long. Just don't watch this movie. Just forget it exists. The other sequels have something good about them, but this one has nothing. This is also the only sequel that didn't make an insane amount of money at the box office. Even though it still did better than the first film, and it could be considered a success, it didn't make that much money worldwide. Ice Age The Meltdown and Ice Age Continental Drift. Both movies are bad, but which one is worse or better? I don't know. From a critical point of view, the 4th film is worse. On a nostalgic point of view, the 2nd film is worse. I guess let's start with the 4th film. The animation in the 4th film looks really great, but once again, it's wasted on an Ice Age sequel. And a bad one at that. The plot is pretty much recycled from the 2nd film. And aside from Scrat, no one is funny. The 2nd film is just boring. Once again, Scrat is the only funny character here. Not to mention this movie is full of filler. At one point, there's a moment where vultures have a musical number for no reason. Now, I would rather watch a bad movie more than a boring movie. At least a bad film won't make me fall asleep, and I'm able to remember it. Aside from a few scenes in the 2nd film, it's pretty boring. But that doesn't mean the 4th film is good. It's still bad. I go back and forth between which one I like more since I can't really decide. Now, this is where my opinions become controversial. Ice Age. Ice Age is a good film, but in my opinion, it's only the 2nd best. If I'm honest, this movie is kinda overrated. I watch this movie and think, this is the movie that got a bunch of sequels. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's good. Nothing more, nothing less. Just good. I will also admit, there are parts where the movie feels very slow and boring. And the animation ain't that good, but it was Blue Sky's first movie, so I'm not really gonna count that. Thankfully, unlike the other movies, the characters and stories are good, and the comedy is funny. I will say this one does seem more story heavy than the other films. Then again, aside from a few exceptions, movies that are heavily focused on the stories aren't usually my favorites. Either way, this is still a good movie. Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I'm surprised. The third movie is my favorite? Usually I find third movies bad and the worst of a trilogy or series, and other times I find third movies good, but it's still the worst of the trilogy or series. The only exceptions for me are Toy Story 3, Cars 3, and Spider-Man 3. Yes, I actually like Spider-Man 3. This movie is another exception. I hated this movie when I was younger, but I decided to rewatch it again 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Yes, an Ice Age sequel that's actually good. Other people have mixed opinions though. Some say it's the second best film in the series and the only good Ice Age sequel, while others say it's worse than Ice Age The Meltdown. And I know what you're probably thinking. The idea of dinosaurs in an Ice Age film may sound weird, but scratch Acorn send an asteroid to Earth is weirder and more stupid. I'm looking at you for film. The story is good. Nothing too special, but it's good. The comedy is actually pretty good. Buck is one of the best things about this film. He's a crazy weasel that is given a backstory, and a pretty cool one at that too. Buck is also pretty funny here. This Buck I like. Glypto's Buck I don't. Compared to the animation in the first and second film, this animation got a major upgrade. Plus, the underground dinosaur world looks really cool, and a nice change from the normal Ice Age that we see in every movie. Let's face it, Ice Age ain't that good. There's 2 good movies, 2 bad movies, 1 awful movie, 1 bad Christmas special, and 1 awful Easter special. If you plan on watching the Ice Age films, just watch the first 3 movies. Even though the second one ain't that good, it's still better than watching all 3 bad films. Just act like everything past the 3rd film doesn't exist. And you got a good trilogy. 2 good movies and a dud in the middle. I mean, if you want to watch the 4th and 5th film, be my guest, but it's not worth your time. Actually, no. The 4th movie has some good things in it. The 5th film has nothing. Okay, listen. The point is that at the end of the day, we don't want any more Ice Age movies, specials, or even a spin-off about Buck. Even if Buck acts like himself on Ice Age 3, no one asked for it. Plus, we're all tired of Ice Age anyway. Or at least I am.